I'm gonna bet you that within the next 2 days, you're gonna be able to use this strategy I'm gonna teach you right now, and you're gonna love it. It's taken from the old boy Tim Cook's playbook. If you don't know who he is, he took over Steve Jobs at Apple. He's the CEO. It's really not important if you don't know what he is. He uses a technique when he's asked very difficult questions. Or let me ask you, do sometimes people ask you questions to intentionally make you look bad? They know that the answer they want you to give is gonna make you look bad. Maybe in the workplace, some guy's jockeying for your position or they just don't like you. Well, this strategy enables you to very successfully come out on top in that situation. I'm gonna tell you what the strategy is, and then I'm also gonna tell you why it works. What's the social dynamics? What's the social matrix behind this to make it work? So the strategy that he uses is only 5 words. So whether they're asking him, maybe it's some analyst and they're short the stock or they want to make Apple look bad, what are they going to say? Well, we see that your sales on the iPhone are down. He doesn't want to answer that question. What do we always talk about on this channel? Just like good politicians, they answer the question that they wish they were asked, not the question that they're actually asked. But sometimes if someone asks you a question and you just completely talk about something else, it can seem kind of disconnected and not smooth. So these 5 words enable you to segue from the question that you don't really want to answer directly to the question you want to ask, and that is the way that I see it. So they say, hey, iPhone sales are down. What do you say about that? He says, well, the way that I see it, and then steps back and paints a bigger picture, bringing up topics and points that are positive, that he wants to talk about. We have a strong hardware portfolio. We're doing really well with content now, right?
Never have.
However, let me tell you the way I look at it.
Okay.
We manage the company for the long term.
So he's able to say what he wants versus how would it sound if she just said, hey, your iPhone sales are down. What's going on with that? And he says, we have a strong hardware portfolio. I mean, it sounds like some robot that was programmed to say something. The way I see it, the reason that works is, how do you feel when I say that? It feels almost a bit endearing, like it's hard to get mad at somebody if they're just telling you the way they see it. You know, it's almost like it's a bit disarming when you say that, because you're kind of opening yourself up. Well, the way that I see it is this. It's hard to really be mad. Well, why do you see it that way? You do this and this. So the first thing that strategy does is it's disarming to the other person. And the second thing it does is it's a natural segue to answering the question you want. So how might this work at the workplace? Well, let's say that your numbers are down. Say you're a salesperson and you sell cars at the Mercedes dealership, and someone comes up to you and says, hey, having a pretty rough month there, Barron, aren't you, in front of other people? You say, hey, well, you know, the way that I see it, we got in this new line, we're trying to learn it, we're trying to get up to speed on this, and I actually think the next couple months, you know, we had to pay the price up front this first month, but we couldn't really explain it well. I think these next couple months are gonna be great. A great way to spin it, the way I see it. Now, when you say something like that, the tone of your voice is going to be very powerful, because if you say, the way I see it, you know, it's a new car. We're just kind of trying to learn it, right? Everyone was. Your tone of voice has a big impact on the way things are perceived. This isn't a vocal tonality video, but I do have a video here. You can touch or click right here. I'll put a link in the description below that'll go through it. Teach you how to talk with a strong, commanding, resounding voice. Now, if you know anything about the channel, The Charisma Matrix, subscribe if you like this video, by the way. I come out with videos every Thursday. I do a lot of teaching like this with actual strategies, but I also break down trending topics. So maybe it's Trump and some other politician, or maybe it's just some other people in the news. I think it's a good learning tool when people can kind of see the back end of what's going on socially. What may seem just like a quick spat between people, there's usually more depth to it. And so I try to break it down with that. And I really want to teach, just like this example today, something that you can use immediately in your life. I hate it when people watch motivational videos and they leave and they're all pumped up, and a half hour later their hands in the Cheetos and they haven't changed anything. I want you to be able to apply these. A lot of people come to my channel to learn how to increase their social status. When you have higher social status, the whole world is different. Have you ever heard of the term that people look at themselves through rose-colored glasses? It just means that we have a tendency as humans to look very favorably at ourselves and not be able to see our blind spots. Who knows if it's an evolutionary adaptation that gives us a false sense of confidence, but it's definitely there. Now, when people have true high status, really rock solid confidence that forces people to treat them this way. And I say the word forces that may seem a bit out of place. It's true. You're actually forcing people to treat you in a different way when you display high status. On this channel, a lot of people want to learn how to get high status. I actually have a video, you can click or touch right here or go, I'll put a link in the description below as well. And it goes through one word. I know it sounds kind of strange, but one word that can boost your status. Because a lot of people want to know actual practical things they can do. This channel isn't about motivation where you watch it and you get all pumped up and 3 minutes later you're back to watching the football game, not doing anything. I want to teach you things that you can actually go out and apply, like I did in this video today. And that video right there is going to teach you one word. And I think that when you're able to do these little things, make these little changes, it really snowballs because your subconscious sees, wow, I didn't realize that I was high status. I had low self-confidence my whole life and I do this one thing and for a minute, my status gets a bit higher. Maybe there's more things I can do. Maybe I deserve to be able to be awarded high status. That's a huge thing. A lot of people that I coach when I do private coaching, don't do it very often, but when I do, and I teach people a few things to do and they get these high status reactions, they're not comfortable with it because their subconscious their whole life has been like, you don't deserve to be high status. You know, maybe their dad talked down and their family wasn't very supportive. Maybe they got picked on when they were younger. For whatever reason, they're not ready for that. So that's why I think these little things that like that video, you say one thing, and you get a little uncomfortable, then you get a little more comfortable with it. And then you kind of adapt to it. And then organically, your subconscious allows you to display these high confidence behaviors. I see people all the time who study this stuff. They study confidence. Maybe they study dating, but they know all these things, but they're not able to apply them. It's not because they don't know how, it's because they're not ready for the positive reaction. When you have social status and you have high confidence, you're gonna get more attention from people. It's good, but when you're not used to it, your subconscious is like, don't be the tall blade of grass that gets cut down, don't stand out. You may get Biff Tannen that comes over and picks on you in front of everybody, you're gonna look like a dope. Your dad told you was a dope. Your mom said you were never gonna do anything. And that's in your mind, as goofy as it sounds. So that's why I like to teach these practical things. Now, if you really want to dive deep, I've got a full program called the Social Invincibility Program that's going to teach you how to see beyond the matrix. It's going to enable you to see everything that's really going on around you. Because a lot of people, when they look around, they don't understand what's going on. They don't know why sometimes they get a good reaction, sometimes they get a bad reaction. That's pretty crippling too. When you can't be confident that people are gonna like you when you go up or get a positive reaction, well, you're always gonna go up weak because you never know. You're walking a tightrope, you may fall, you may stay up. It's not a good way to do it. You go to socialinvincibility.com or I'll put a link right here. I'll put a link in the description below to check that out as well. Now, if you haven't seen this video right here, highly suggest you watch that one. And if you wanna hear that vocal power video that's gonna teach you how to speak with some strong pipes, you can click right here to watch it now. I'll talk to you there.